Today's video is all about the IRS audit. While nobody wants to be audited by the IRS, it is a common occurrence that can affect you as an individual or small business owner. So we're going to talk about 3 things that you can do to best prepare for an audit when you receive that audit letter. Hi, I'm Holland King. I'm a tax attorney that helps individuals and small businesses with their IRS problems. Whether it is an IRS audit, like we'll talk about today, or past due taxes, I'm here to help. So you received a letter saying that you've been selected for audit, or for an IRS exam, as it's sometimes called. Lucky you, you've won the IRS lottery. While only a small percentage of the population comes under audit each year, it can happen to individuals or small business owners. If you receive that IRS letter stating that you're under exam, then here are 3 things that you can do to best prepare and make sure that you come out with the best possible outcome. The first item is to make sure that you don't ignore that letter. The first letter that you'll receive when you are under audit by the IRS is a letter stating that you've been selected for exam and that you will need to reach out to the examiner by a certain date. This first meeting generally is going to be a pretty high overview. The examiner is going to give you your rights. It's going to discuss what the scope of the audit is, whether it is certain types of taxes, certain tax years, or even specific issues within the return. They will discuss all of that. They will also start laying out documentation and information that they need from you in order to proceed on the audit. So the first thing that you can do is make sure that you're prepared for that first meeting and that you respond to the auditor by the date on the letter. While that is all occurring, start collecting the information related to your return. If you're an individual, then you may have certain issues like dependents and whether or not the dependent you claimed on your return is eligible. Is that dependent related to you? Did they live with you during the tax year? Did you support them financially? Are they of qualifying age? All of these items may be explored during an audit. Other common issues is if you're a small business owner and you claim certain deductions like home office expense or business mileage. If you claim certain tax credits for your business or for your home, then you may be required to substantiate those. If you have questions, either talk to the auditor directly, see if you can figure out what the scope is, or talk to an experienced tax attorney who can help you identify common areas that are going to be at issue on your return. Start collecting the information and be prepared to document those issues with the auditor. Next, let's talk about the IRS auditor. Many auditors like to approach the engagements stating that it's going to be an informal affair. You'll be able to provide all the documentation, and as long as you provide it, then everything's going to work out fine. But remember, the auditor is not your friend. The auditor is not on your side. While the auditor may have the best of intentions, their job is to be skeptical. Their job is to find holes in the return and to make sure that all the numbers tick and tie exactly to what should be allowed. Having said that, the standard that the IRS wants to impose on taxpayers is not always the standard required by the tax courts and is not necessarily the standard required by the statute. So even if the auditor has the best of intentions, they are going to have different guidelines than what you necessarily have to show. Likewise, the auditor's job is to make sure that the information on the return is properly documented and properly substantiated by the documents and evidence that you can provide. So, if you have a vehicle for your business and you're claiming business mileage, make sure that you have the logbook. Make sure that you can provide that logbook to the IRS auditor. Make sure that that logbook substantiates the amount of mileage that's claimed on the tax return. If you have the dependent that I talked about earlier in this video, make sure that you have all that information and it's ready to be demonstrated to the IRS auditor. They may not ask for this information, but it's best be prepared. If it sounds like that you're doing the auditor's job for them, yes, you are. But this also means that you're going to be able to present the information in the best possible light and get the auditor on your side as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, it's you who are going to have to deal with the results of the audit, not the auditor. So if you do a little bit more work up front and get the auditor to believe what is on your tax return, that puts you in a better position. If you don't, and you just dump a bunch of information that is unstructured and unformatted on the auditor is going to be much more likely to stick you with a large tax bill, and you're going to be the one who ends up having to fight it either through the appeals process or in tax court. So do a little bit of extra work up front, and it goes a long way on the back end. Finally, Get the help that you need. If you did not prepare your taxes, make sure your tax professional is part of the audit process. They are going to have the best idea of what's on the tax return and what needs to be substantiated. If you either prepared it yourself or it is a specialized issue, get the help of a tax attorney. They will have the experience needed to help you navigate the waters and demonstrate the item necessary to the IRS. The IRS has published a Taxpayer Bill of Rights, part of which allows you to have the necessary representation to help preserve your rights and to help you throughout the audit. In part, this means that when you retain a tax attorney, they're going to ask you for a power of attorney so that they can talk to the IRS on your behalf. This also means that when the IRS has questions, they should go to the tax attorney or your representative first. If you do end up having to talk to the IRS, your representative will either be in the room or on the phone with you and help you through the process. If you are under audit, make sure you get the necessary help. Make sure that you're prepared to have those conversations with the IRS. That's it for today. If you have any questions about an IRS audit, either leave a comment below or contact me. My information is available in the description. If you found this information helpful, hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I'll be producing more content like this in the near future. Until then, have a good day.